Hey, groovy motherfucker.
Groovy.
Hey man, back to end the Dracula month that Scarpad so kindly picked out for us.
The end of Dracula.
The end of Dracula. And next month or February we'll be starting with Two Guns pick. And you know you got two windows open, bro.
I know.
Yeah. But before we get started, man, we'll be doing horror Dracula tonight. And we got a special guest in the house tonight. It's been a while, man. I don't think he's been on since Horror Fest, man. We got Rockin' Robbie. What's up, brother?
Finally, Rockin' Robbie has come back to Dylan's Horror Show station, man. What is up? Pop, pop, boo, all that stuff. Super excited to be here. When I saw this list and I saw Horror of Dracula, I had to be here for this one, man. Hell yeah. What a cool movie to talk about.
Yeah, it should be good now. Good one, man. Yeah, I figured it was going to either be this one or the Langella one. I didn't know which one, but
I wanted an excuse
to
like
pass up some Hammer.
I wanted an excuse to revisit the Frank Langella Dracula because that's the sexiest Dracula, right?
That one might have been my favorite one of this month.
It's good, right? But like it was on my my anniversary, my 2-year anniversary with my girls, so I had to.
I don't blame you, man.
Not do that.
That was a good one because me and Two Guns.
I was knocking boots instead, Dylan. So
yeah, I'd have done the same, man. I'd have done the same. Yeah, there's a lot. Me and Two Gun were talking. A lot of these stories, you know, they're based off the same story, and a lot of these movies are very, very, very similar. And I really enjoyed that.
Switch it up a little bit.
A little bit different. Switched it up in the story, and we found out that was, I think, Chill Out was saying that was based off of a play, so that was really cool. Let me see before we dive into it. Let me see if we got any horror news though this week. I know Nosferatu came out on digital. Have you seen that one yet?
Me? Yeah. I loved it. It might be one of my favorite movies of last year, dude. Visually stunning. The music was macabre and phenomenal. And the performances were intense. My favorite, actually, and I love Bill Skarsgård. He disappears into the role. Like I can't even know that's him, right?
That voice is
but
so
Willem
good.
Dafoe was my favorite performance in that movie, dude. That dude starts off like this, and then he goes, oh! And then he's like on an 11. He's like on a coke binge for the rest of the fucking movie, dude. As soon as he says "my boy," he's just going, dude.
Schnapps.
I fucking loved it. It was a great movie, dude. I'm really pumped for the werewolf movie they announced, right? For Robert Eggers too. right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
I
gonna
was
be
gonna say not Blumhouse's Werewolf or Wolfman. That was a big letdown in my opinion. Scarphead
I'm
didn't
hearing
mind it.
mixed things about that one, man.
I
I'm
did
hearing like
not.
ups and
I
downs.
did not like it, man. No meat on the bones, man. No
It
meat
was
on the
mid.
bones whatsoever. They didn't follow through with much. I'm gonna give it a rewatch though, but that was like that and Cuckoo were like my two worst like theater experiences last year, man. And I'd probably say Wolfman. Well, Wolfman's technically this new year now, but yeah,
Cuckoo maybe was maybe a little bit better than Wolfman today, too.
I don't know, man. I'll have to see. Yeah, I'd probably say Cuckoo was a little bit better because at least it was like original. Even though I know like this is more an original take on the Wolfman, I was really let down, man. Really let down. And because I love Lee Winnell stuff, I love Upgrade and I love The Invisible Man, and I finally got Scarphead to pick up Invisible Man on 4K, and he's gonna
What?
give it a rewatch. He's gonna give it a
Scarphead hates
rewatch.
that movie. What are
I
you
know
talking about?
he's gonna give it. I'm hoping he'll give it a fair shake and not hate watch
I'm
it.
gonna give it a
Well,
second.
fuck. I
chance.
guess I think I might have to watch Burial Ground again. Shit.
Amen. Burial grounds a classic, that's for sure. But yeah, man, I fucking love Nosferatu, man. That I am so hyped for his world. I was just watching. Just before the stream, I was watching The Lighthouse, man. I mean, dude, it's just I
don't
love
think
it.
he's made a bad film, man.
It's gonna be a
Nope.
13th. It's gonna be a 13th century werewolf movie too.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
wait, dude.
that's even cooler.
He's gonna do a werewolf movie the justice that it deserves. That's for sure. 13th century isn't well, probably not. When did Curse of Werewolf take place? I know that was like
Later than that.
1900.
later. Okay, I figured. I didn't think it was like that.
1900, somewhere in there.
I figured that might be maybe like I'll have to see. I don't know.
I mean, that's an interesting period to put it because I think it's set in England too. So it's like 1200s England. Like that's going to be
Like during the Crusades.
pretty fucking cool, man.
I can't wait, dude. But you know, he does a lot of period pieces, but he does his, you know, and that was a big thing where I was curious what people were gonna think of Nosferatu's look because it's a lot different. But I just fucking loved everything about that movie.
He said
That
in the
voice.
He said
The
in the
voice
interview,
was when I saw they dropped that teaser of him in the voice, and Scarphead didn't watch it, but I was telling him, I was like, dude, he's like, I just want to go in not knowing shit.
Bro,
And
I didn't even watch the trailer for the fucking movie.
Oh, really? As soon as I
went
heard
in
that
there.
voice,
I'll be honest with you. There was a point in the first 20 minutes that I almost fell asleep. But that wasn't the movie. But it was so dark.
Yeah.
The movie was so fucking
Yeah.
dark, right? And took a minute to get going. Maybe the movie's a
I saw it
tad bit
twice.
long.
yes.
But aside
That's
from that, like it's fucking near perfect.
My only negative on the movie is it's a little long. They could
You
have
know,
cut.
I saw it twice,
they
and
coulda
my
cut-
second watch, I didn't feel it at
I
all.
think they could have cut like 10 minutes out of it because there was a little bit of redundancy in the movie where they, like, especially around the girl, where they say the same thing about her like 3 times. So they could have cut like 10 minutes out, but still, it doesn't make it bad.
Yeah. You'll have to give it a nut, but you'll have to see on your second watch if you feel the same way. Because on my second, did you watch your second time yet?
Not yet.
No, yeah, okay.
Well,
See,
and
on
what's
my second
available
time,
on
I didn't
streaming?
feel it.
Apparently, what's available on streaming and will be available on the Blu-ray is like an extended cut, which is only 4 minutes longer.
Yeah.
But I wonder what exactly
you
that
can
is.
only get the.
I was hearing it was gonna
cut
be
if you
3
buy it.
hours long, man, and I was like, damn, only 4 minutes. I just love that world, man. Just it was so beautiful, dude. I could have lit. That fucking world was just so awesome, dude.
And every performance was top notch. Like, there wasn't a bad
I agree.
performance in the movie, man.
I loved Aaron Taylor Johnson in that, man. I thought
He was great,
so
dude.
good.
And like when
Nicholas Hoult.
Orlok first talks, I wasn't expecting the look or the voice, and man, I was transfixed, dude. That whole like you must take my counsel.
And dude, what he had to go through. If you watch interviews, like he did training with like an opera singer.
Yeah,
to like
go down so low.
Dude,
yeah.
Yes, man. Just I mean, what the guy went through, man. I mean, he is just.
That's why he was like, "I'm done with horror films for a while, man."
Yeah, really? Did he say that?
Yeah.
Well, I know he's
Like
gonna do.
this typecast
He's coming back for Welcome to Derry, and they just announced like 3 seasons for that. So, but he probably doesn't have to do that much for that, and he doesn't have to do a voice like he's doing for Nosferatu. You know what I mean?
Well, the first season that's already filmed, so.
Yeah, well, that too. But yeah, he doesn't have to do something crazy like that, and he's already been Pennywise, so that's probably nothing for him. But let me see. Also, that new remake of the Toxic Avenger, which was like put on a shelf for some, I forget exactly why, finally got picked up by a company, and it was picked up by Bloody Disgusting, I want to say, in Screenbox. They picked it up, so they said that it will be getting an unrated theatrical release later this year. So
That
super
movie was made
glad
like
that
2
didn't
years
just
ago,
disappear.
man.
Yeah, I'm just glad that it didn't just disappear and we never got to see it, because I'm super curious to see what we're gonna get from it. So I'm glad somebody picked it up, and I think Bloody Disgusting was a good company to pick that up.
I'll be disappointed unless we get Peter Dinklage in a tutu, a pink tutu.
A24 adapting Edgar Allan Poe's The Mask of Red Death with Sydney Sweeney and talks to star. If you don't know Sydney Sweeney, that's the girl from remember Immaculate? Do you remember that movie? The main girl in Immaculate.
Yeah. They'll botch that
Super
movie.
hot. Super hot though. It's A24 though. It's A24.
I know.
It's not
They'll botch it. They'll botch it.
Is it? Stop being.
They might actually do okay because it's a period piece, so they might do all right.
I was gonna say it's A24, so I have way more hope than if Blumhouse said they were doing that.
Well, so was Cuckoo A24, was it?
No,
I thought it was.
I don't think so. that was the company that put out Immaculate. That's like a newer company. I'll have to look it up. But a movie called Send Help, starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. Sam Raimi's horror return. So Sam Raimi is coming back to direct Horror Man. So I cannot wait for that. You see Dylan O'Brien. I think you remember that movie, Love and Monsters. Well, do you remember the company that put out that Immaculate movie, Robbie, or Cuckoo?
No, I do not.
Neon. Thank you, Evan. Yeah,
oh, they're the ones that did Long Legs, aren't it?
Yeah, yes. They did. I believe they did Long Legs. The Long Legs, I think, was like their big one, and now they've been putting out a bunch. Then they did Immaculate, and now they're what was the movie I just said that they're gonna fucking do? I forget now. But Sam Raimi's coming back to direct. Robbie with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. They're A24's adapting The Mask of Red Death with Sydney Sweeney to star in.
And, nice.
Yeah, I'm super. Scarpad thought they'd fuck it up, but if A24, I have faith that they could do that. Oh, and Possessor was neon too.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
The Brandon Cronenberg movie?
Possessor has that guy Chris Abbott in it from the new Wolfman. And there's that new movie. I want to say, I don't know, is it directed or produced? But the guy from Barbarian worked on it. I think he directed it.
You talking about Companion?
Companion, yeah.
Yeah, that drops this week?
I think so, yeah. That looks good, though. That looks good. It's supposed to be, it's like a romantic thriller, probably with some horror-ish stuff going on. I don't know, but I thought it looked good. I'm
excited for it.
And we've got exclusive tickets to see The Gorg early with director Scott Derrickson in person. Bloody Disgusting is giving their fans an early chance to see Apple TV's highly anticipated survivor thriller, The Gorg. Okay, yeah, I forgot. And that's by Scott Derrickson, the guy who did Sinister and Black Phone. With Anya Taylor-Joy, Miles Teller, and Sigourney Weaver. So Apple TV does some decent stuff, so we'll see. Could be good. And I think they dropped a trailer for this for a while, but Death of a Unicorn is premiering at film festivals right now, or premiering at film festivals March 7th to the 15th in Austin, Texas. Which that is an A24 film that has Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, and that looks really fucking cool. That looks really weird. You know, A24 always does the weird ass shit.
Yeah.
Check out the trailer for that if you haven't seen, or if you're just trying to stay away from trailers, just remember Death of a Unicorn. And I think that's probably about it. And I know there was a bunch of new horror movies that released this week too. There's a shark movie um, that has Richard Dreyfuss in it and Scout Taylor Compton who played Laurie in Halloween, called Into the Deep on VOD. Probably not going to be too good. And horror legend Tony Todd leaves behind a handful of roles in horror movies not yet released. And one of the first of his final roles comes courtesy of Werewolf Game, now available on VOD. So, Werewolf Game. You're a big Tony Todd fan. Definitely be cool to check that out. I'm going to be checking out all of his new stuff that he's putting out. I think that's probably it. Anything that's worthy of talking about, at least. I'm curious about that Tony Todd movie, Werewolf Game. It sounds cool. Yeah. Oh, and Walmart's been releasing copies of Terrifier 3 on VHS, which recently they did 2, like, I don't know, maybe like 8 months ago. So now if you go to your Walmart, you might be able to check and see a bloody disgusting section in the movie section, and they might have Terrifier 3 that they're not throwing out. But I wouldn't doubt that shit's expensive, because I think Terrifier 2 was like $30 on VHS. It wasn't cheap. So, long time viewer, and I asked my still works for chance. Oh man, well thanks for dropping in, man. Glad you could finally chat on here. Acres and Movies. What's going on? Oh yeah, Wolfman 3 out of 10. Yeah, I would definitely agree. I might even go 2 out of 10. But yeah, so horror Dracula, man. This is I haven't seen this movie in a fat ass minute. So it almost felt like a first time watch. Not really, because I know like everything about the movie, but I haven't seen it since I was like 10, bro. It's been a long time. So we've been doing all these Dracula movies, and a lot of these movies, man, they're that similar story. So this was hitting a lot of those same things that I've seen already this past month, and I've seen so many times before. But big thing in this is you got Christopher Lee as Count Dracula, and he's fucking next level, man. I thought he was incredible. I really enjoyed his version of Dracula. I felt like that was one of the best parts of this movie, because that was what differentiated this movie to me than all the other Draculas, because I thought he had a lot different of a Dracula than most of the other ones. And man, he could run, man. He glided when he was running. You know what I mean? Those long ass legs. Christopher Lee's about like 6'4" at least. And Peter Cushing, man, I thought he was great. I loved his outfit in this, man, with that jacket with the fur on it, which I think Scarpat has a really cool Mego of that exact same figure. That was cool. And as always, man, Hammer's got the great, beautiful set designs. They always knock it out the park with their set design. I don't know where they were filming these movies back then. They had to be filming in like Italy or something, because these movies always look so beautiful. But yeah, man, I enjoyed the movie for sure. I wish I would have maybe watched it like months later, since I've just watched so much Dracula this past month, with Nosferatu and all of it being Dracula. I definitely enjoyed the movie. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes, so it's short, sweet, but it's definitely a beautifully shot movie, and Christopher Lee just absolutely knocked it out of the park. And didn't me and you just recently watch the sequel to this? What was it, Dracula? Because wasn't Brides of Dracula the sequel to this?
It was one that came right after it. It didn't have Christopher Lee in it.
They didn't know if Christopher Lee would come back.
Yeah, I know he didn't come back, and they put like a Christopher Lee clone in it.
Yeah, who was not nearly as good.
It was good though. I enjoyed it.
It's a good movie, Brides of Dracula, though.
Yeah, it's just a little different take on it. And I like the fact that basically this movie, the beginning starts out a little bit different. You got Harker going to the castle for the express purpose of really killing Count Dracula, not, like what we've seen over the last few months, going there to sell him property in England or get his affairs in order. So they've changed that a little bit. He's a vampire hunter along, in league with Dr. Van Helsing, and he's there to kill him. And basically he gets bit and it goes from there. So they changed up the story a little bit. This movie, the nicest thing about it is the length. As I said, it's like 75 minutes. It moves at a very quick pace. We get right into the story. We get Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in the action right away. And yeah, you're right. The sets are phenomenal. And you got Michael Gough, who's actually great in this movie too, as Lucy's brother.
No, his name is Alfred Pennyworth.
Alfred Pennyworth from Batman. Pennyworth. But Michael Gough is all over. Like he was in Phantom of the Opera too, and a bunch of other Hammer movies.
Yeah, a bunch of Hammer stuff.
Oh, really?
But I and this is the first time you see Christopher Lee. I think he'll do it 5 or 6 more times. He makes more sequels to this movie, and then of course Peter Cushing is great in this. Great in the Frankenstein series. I just love this movie. I love the whole look of it. I love the fact that they dispense off with the women really quick in this. Lucy really goes. Mina gets bit. She's out of the picture. But no, it's a great flick. I think it's
this motherfucker just said, I like how they dispense the women very quickly in this movie.
We got them out of the way. Bingo, bango. You don't have to deal with them anymore. Although some even the new Nosferatu too. Lucy disappears toward the tail end of that movie too a little bit. But yeah, I mean it's a great. I love it. This is one of my favorite Hammer movies. This and probably the Frankenstein one with Peter Cushing. But yeah, excellent, phenomenal movie.
Yeah, I love
this movie before Nosferatu, like I said. I have a bold statement. I think Nosferatu and Skarsgård performance in Nosferatu is probably second to Boris. To this guy here,
Bela
Lugosi. And before that, I would have said Christopher Lee. He's my second. He's now my third.
Not Gerard Butler from Dracula 2000?
No, not Gerard Butler.
He's close.
Frank Langella did an okay job though too, but yeah.
Gary Oldman is fantastic too.
Yeah, and the guy in the Monster Squad did a good job too.
Yeah, well, we reviewed Transferred a couple as Dracula last week. I wasn't as enamored with it as you were, but it's still a good movie. But yeah,
he didn't like Keanu.
Well, I said this on my stream tonight because somebody picked that movie from my random ranking, and I was like, the movie's fine. I love the music. I love Gary Oldman. But man, Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder never need to try to do another British accent in their lives, man.
Yeah, they pretty much killed the movie.
Like, whoa, Dracula, let's get some tea.
Yeah, terrible. But yeah, this movie's phenomenal. So one of my favorite Hammer movies.
Would you, Robbie? I know you're a big fan. So, the first time you watched this, man, if you remember back when you saw this first time, what's your story with horror Dracula? Because I know you got a big love for Hammer horror, as we all do.
I love Hammer horror, and the way I found out about Hammer horror was becoming a Universal horror fan. Right, I was a big fan of the Universal monsters, and when they were releasing like those VHSs back in the 90s, I think they were also re-releasing VHSs of the Hammer stuff, or they were airing them somewhere, right? So I remember a very, very vivid year in my life. I don't remember what year it was. I want to say 95, 96. I don't know what it was, but Sci-Fi Channel, right? This is a story I don't really tell very often, but this is very important. In like the mid 90s, Sci-Fi Channel does this thing in the month of October. And they do Dracula Week, they do werewolf week, they do a Frankenstein week, and they do a mummy week, right? And it was a chance for me while live on TV to watch some of the movies that I liked. Like for Dracula week, they did Dracula, then Dracula's Daughter. That was the first time I ever saw Dracula's Daughter. Then they did Son of Frankenstein, House of Frankenstein, or House of Dracula, right? But then they did Brides of Dracula, right? And I watched that movie. And then they did their werewolf week, and part of their werewolf, they did Wolfman, they did Wolfman, they Werewolf of London, and then they did The Howling, right? But like on one of those nights, they did Curse of the Werewolf with Oliver Reed. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Then they did their Frankenstein week. They went through all the Universal Frankenstein movies, but then they did Curse of Frankenstein, right? And then I'm latched in, right? For their Mummy week, it was all just Universal Mummy movies. But so I was latched in. I was like, I loved the idea of the aesthetic of Universal monster films. But as I've said before, with color, blood, and cleavage, right? Like sexier women, more in your face, the violence is more there, the visceral nature of the films and the story and the content is there. I fell in love with these things and I started seeking them out, right? So I love Hammer horror, right? On my channel, we've done Curse of the Werewolf, we've done Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. Those are two of my favorites.
I love Captain Kronos.
And this was a great opportunity to dust off this excellent. Now, this is the Warner Archive collection. There's no special features.
Yeah, bummer.
And this movie deserves a better release, but goddamn.
Captain Kronos just got a huge 4K box set.
I saw that. But
from Hammer, because it looks like Hammer's back in.
Can you tell me better cover art for a Dracula fucking movie than that right there?
That's a beautiful cover.
That's gorgeous, man. I want a print of that.
Especially with him holding.
Yeah. So the first Peter Cushing Dracula movie I watched, because Peter Cushing is the kind of the guy that leads you through these and the Curse of Frankenstein. Now, I think Peter Cushing as Dr. Frankenstein in the Frankenstein series is fucking brilliant. I think that's amazing. Now, he's also amazing as Van Helsing throughout the series of the movies, but Brides was my first one that I watched, right? When I finally watched this movie.
I like Brides a lot.
I love Brides. When I finally watched this movie, I was initially let down. I think we got audio bleed through from Scarpat. Yeah, we do. All right. So when I first watched this movie, I'll be honest with you, man. And this kind of sticks with me every time I watch this film. I get slightly disappointed. The reason why is because I love that Bela Lugosi movie so much.
Yeah.
Right? That when Christopher Lee shows up and just goes, I am Dracula. Yeah. I'm like, what? You didn't like milk that fucking line. And then when Jonathan Harker, they changed the story. They changed the characters. Mina's married to Arthur. Jonathan was married to Lucy. Like there's all this weird shit. But at the same time, with a familiar story like Dracula, that even had changes in that Bela Lugosi 1931 Todd Browning picture, right? Yeah. You have differences that move it from the typical story. And still today, every time Jonathan Harker goes, now I can end the reign of the, like, once you find out he's there to kill Dracula, you're like, whoa. So I like the movie. There is a sense of, I don't like it as much as the Bela Lugosi one.
Definitely
just like
not.
I don't like Curse of Frankenstein as much as James Whale's Frankenstein, right?
Right. No.
But they're different beasts doing different things. Yeah. And Christopher Lee's Dracula, he's only in this film. It's 7 fucking minutes, 16 lines. Yeah. He's barely in the film, right? But it's got an atmosphere. Seeing it in color. The music. Bum,
red eyes,
bum, the bum. Yeah, the red eyes, the teeth, the blood, the cleavage. Like, this was important shit, you know? Especially, like, it's like I said, sometimes I get disappointed when I first initially watch this movie because it's not quite the movie that I wanted, you know, but it is the movie that we got and it's the movie that we deserved. And Christopher Lee's great. Peter Cushing is great. Everybody's great in this movie. All the changes are interesting, and they keep you, even as a hardcore vampire movie Dracula fan, on your toes. The cinematography is amazing. Terrence Fisher is an amazing fucking director.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
so
the
like
best. He does all my
it's
favorite Hammer.
exactly. I mean, he did so many of them, right? And
Yeah.
I own every
He's
of
the
these
man.
Hammer Dracula films. I'm only missing one of the Frankenstein films.
Oh, you got all the Dracula now?
I get all the Draculas. I'm missing one Frankenstein, and it's Revenge. But the
I got
movie is great,
I
and
got
it's
Revenge on,
hard for
VHS.
us. It's hard for us sometimes to put ourselves in the context of 1958, and nobody saw fangs and blood and bloodshot eyes and a Dracula move that fucking fast. And a Van Helsing that was that viral as well. And I love that you mentioned what he was wearing, because NECA's doing an action figure of that Van Helsing, and they're doing an action figure of this Dracula. So those are going to be
beautiful.
cool. It's a great movie. It's part of the iconography of Dracula. It's badass, but I do think Prince of Darkness is better. Not the John Carpenter film, but Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
Yeah. I do too. I got the Scream Factory of that one.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That.
Well, the ending of this movie is good too. The ultimate showdown between him and Van Helsing, especially with that sequence where he turns to dust and he loses the leg.
I love when he goes.
His death scene is so
the
good.
Ring, just the hand with the ring just sitting there.
It's so good that Night Stalker with Darren McGavin kind of aped it 20 years later. Almost the same ending.
Right. Yeah, I tried to go into this one not thinking about Bela, because nobody will just ever top what Bela did.
No, he's still the number one.
If I do that, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to, I would have said the exact same Robbie said. And it's like, that's all you got when you do your opening. To me,
although it's high.
To me, it was more of like when they just pan to him, it's like the presence of him, kind of like lurking a little in the shadow, with him being like a big, tall Dracula.
It only affects me, Dylan, on this movie. Like the other ones that are not straight adaptations of the story, like I'm on board with. Even shit like Satanic Rites of Dracula. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the really bad ones. Like
maybe I still trying to find him.
Dracula 1970.
Yeah.
Where Dracula's trolling women in bars. 72.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Scarp had just watched Brides of Dracula a couple weeks ago. I love that film. That's
a great movie, dude.
Peter Cushing is so good in that, and the set designs are just beautiful. I mean, oh my god. Oh man, we just gave Frank Langella some love.
I said he was the sexiest Dracula, personally.
Yeah.
So
he did a great job.
That was my favorite Dracula movie. I'd say that we reviewed out of the past 4 shows that because I had never fully saw that one, because I always just thought, I was like, this one's too lovey-dovey. I was too young and didn't understand.
Well, hold on now. It's been a whole month. I've kind of forgotten. What did we review? We started off with
Coppola, Dracula, Langella Dracula, 79 Nosferatu, and now this.
Okay.
So we started with Nosferatu, then Langella, then Coppola.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we kicked it off with. Was the
it's high praise. I mean, when I say that,
didn't Scarpad pick all these movies?
Yeah.
But I forgot what they were.
The Nosferatu was really good though too.
That's why I said Skarsgård's performance as Dracula is probably the best since Lugosi. I think he's right up there.
Langella's
Dracula that good.
Great, man. He was so good. I love that movie. I love how they just.
What's that one, like 79?
Yeah, 79.
Yeah, Nosferatu, the German Nosferatu, came out in 79 as well.
And that's more of a direct like companion to the silent film.
Yeah. Who directed that one again?
Werner Herzog.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
That's good. Didn't quite get the ending. I love that part. Have you seen it, Robbie? The 79 one?
Yeah, but it's been a while.
I love it when the guy's sitting at the chair at the end, he puts a salt around, he's like, you can't get me.
Yeah.
He ends up riding off. We don't know why he rides off at the end, but that's kind of crazy.
Which Dracula was John Carradine?
He was in like House of Dracula.
Dracula.
Yeah.
He was a chump Dracula. He couldn't even get home in time. His box fell off the
Yeah.
carriage, and he was done for.
He was just he got taken out so fucking quick in that shit.
What a weak ass Dracula he was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a classic universe.
One of those
Yeah,
very
I
late
never,
period Universal.
yeah. That was the one I always block out.
They were kind of played out by that point.
Yeah, that's the one I usually always blocked out. I never really.
I still like them though for what they are.
It's still a good
know?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I've seen it, but that's the one I've seen the
but
least.
man, if you're gonna take your box at a carriage, man, tie it down.
Yeah.
Gets bounced out of shit. He's dead.
I love Lon Chaney, Son of Dracula. Yeah, that's a great one too.
Oh,
I like it too, man.
With his porn stash.
The whole that's the first time we got the Alucard thing, right? Where it's like somebody like at the end of Act 2 realizes this is Dracula spelled backwards.
Shoot, man, I love anything. I love Lon Chaney's Dracula. I love his Frankenstein. His Frankenstein was a little bit fatter in the face, but I love
He's a fatter Dracula too.
Yeah, for sure.
And his mummy was fatter too.
He's the only guy though who did all four of those major Universal monsters.
Out of all the Mummy sequels, Lon Chaney's Mummy is my favorite out of the sequels. The classic Universal. I love his Mummy.
I don't know. I can't remember his name right now, but the guy who played him in The Mummy's Hand. That's probably my favorite.
Glenn Strange? Was it Glenn Strange? No,
it wasn't Glenn Strange. It was what's his name?
Let me see.
Mummy's Hand. The first guy to play Karras. And we're talking about the Karras Mummy, obviously.
Well, that was the first guy was
Tom Tyler.
Tom Tyler.
Oh yeah, he was a Western guy.
Yes, he was. But I don't know. There's some reason. And that's the movie where they were like blacking out his eyes and shit. There's just something about the look of it. And I love it. I love it so much.
Well, Glenn Strange was
I love all the
different Gunsmoke. He was in Gunsmoke. Glenn Strange.
Oh, yeah? Well, Glenn Strange's Frankenstein monster is basically where they got the Herman Munster thing from, right?
Right, pretty much.
It looks almost identical.
Yeah, don't discard Herman Munster because he did a damn good job too. He's one of my favorite Frankensteins. He's up there.
Oh yeah. He definitely was.
And he drove around that cool ass hearse car.
Yeah.
That dragster.
I love Christopher Lee's Frankenstein as well too, but obviously Boris is always be the best. Always be the best. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen Dracula's Risen from His Grave. It's some of my favorite scenes. I love a big budget shot remake on that one. They had some interesting ideas. Dracula's Risen from the Grave and that.
And Grandpa's Dracula, man, he was more of a scientist Dracula. He was down in his thing down in the cellar. They were working on his test tubes and stuff. Grandpa had it going.
Yeah.
Stacy's like the MVP of the night. Acres of Movies. She was all over my chat too.
Yeah, I'm a big horror fan. Big Hammer horror fan, it seems. Yeah, we should have done a double feature. We should have done horror Dracula with Prince on this one. That'd been good. That'd been good double feature. I feel like it almost needed it just because this one's only like an hour.
Well, it's more longer than an hour.
Hour 10 minutes. Hour 10 minutes. Hour 15.
It's like an hour 17 or something. It's just over the Bela Lugosi one, the Todd Browning one.
Yeah.
But that's just how they made movies back in those days, especially horror films, because like then you could get double billing at a drive-in, or you could get played more throughout the day, you know, at places. And so it's like trick. You get more showings in a day if your movie's short.
Yeah. Lee says, or Acres of Movie says Lee over Langella looks and performance. I think because Lee got so many more movies though too, and the
Langella movie, to be fair, was almost a totally different take on Dracula. Really.
Yeah, that's the one that's based off of a play, but the one I want to watch too is the Dan Curtis one. I've been wanting to watch the Dan Curtis.
That was excellent with Jack Palance, really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost did that. I almost swapped it out for this one, but
yes, that's what I remember. That's what you were telling me. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I'm gonna have to watch that very soon. I believe I have that on Blu-ray, I think.
Jack Palance, he looks like he's dead in the movie, which is good.
He almost is.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, in this one, everybody talks about when Christopher Lee comes out with the red eyes and the fangs. What would be the favorite shot in this? Would it be that? My favorite shot. I'd probably have to go when he starts turning into ash at the end, man. I love when he comes out with the red eyes, but I just love that ending scene. I just thought that was so fucking awesome. I love the way they did that.
I liked every staking in the movie because they did staking really well in this movie. They staked all the women good. They staked him good. They staked Jonathan Harker good. Everybody got staked well in the movie. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Martin, but yeah, it was great.
No Martin, but
and Martin though they do stake him in the belly button, it seems like, right? But I really it is that moment where he shows up, just like fucking throwing shit around, like visceral, bloodshot eyes, fangs bared, blood dripping down, comes at him. Like that's a fucking awesome scene. The scene that Scarpat was talking about at the end when Van Helsing and Dracula have their confrontation. Like that fight was cool. I also like the scene when we first get introduced to Van Helsing at the bar. Like, I don't know. I really like that scene. It feels to me like American Werewolf in London a little bit, like,
yeah, a little
I don't
bit.
know. I kind of like that vibe that's set in that scene. So,
Yeah, that is cool. Definitely is cool. Akers said, should Oz Perkins do a new Dracula or new Psycho movie? I'd go new Psycho.
who's Oz Perkins?
The guy who did Long Legs and who's doing the new Monkey movie.
Oh, he shouldn't do anything.
the Monkey movie looks okay from the trailer, and it's Stephen King. I'm gonna give that a cautiously optimistic. We'll see.
Yeah,
it's a remake.
I was not the biggest fan
right?
of Long Legs.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
I liked Long Legs a lot, but I didn't love it as much as some.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. Too much exposition at the end telling you the whole story. But it was all right.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Is he?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I was just thinking, I was like, well, his name's Oz Perkins, so he should do it since he's got the last name of Anthony Perkins.
I just hated Long Legs so much, man.
Is that a fact, though, that he is Anthony Perkins' son?
Your brother says so.
Maybe.
Wow. How did I always thought, I was like, that's cool. He's got the Perkins name.
I know. How do you approach it?
Relation.
I hope he doesn't redo Psycho. I don't think it really needs to be redone. We already had the Vince Vaughn. We had the originals.
Well, he's also not.
We had 3 sequels. I think we've seen enough of it. We've seen enough of it.
Yeah.
Move on. Do something different.
Well, because then they'd also have to do a new Norman Bates, and we already got a Bates Motel show, which I thought was really well done. But it was completely doing something different than the movies. It was an origin. But yeah, I don't even know who they'd get to play Norman. That's a tough role, and I'm so happy with the 4 Psycho movies that we got by Anthony Perkins. I fucking love those 4 movies, man. It's one of the few franchises that I love it. Every single movie. I think they're all great. Well, probably not because I love all the Halloween movies.
The fourth one was a little shaky.
Direction sucks, and you know what I mean. But I don't think any of the Psycho movies really suck. The ones with Anthony Perkins, at least. The fourth one is the weakest, but
the second one is almost as good as the first one. It really surprised a lot of people.
I agree. I love 2 and 3. I love 2 and 3.
I love 3. 3's so ridiculous. 3 is where Psycho really joins the 80s.
Right. I always say that 3 is actually my favorite, and people always go 2. It's either 1 or 2. But I love 3, man. Love it. Anthony Perkins directorial debut. Jeff Fahey. Don't touch the guitar.
The chick from Slumber Party Massacre Part 2.
Good movie. Love that, man. And Arrow did a beautiful box set for them for the entire set. So yeah, you can play Norman's dad, a relative. He acted in Legally Blonde as a student legal helper. It was similar to Norman Bates. Wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting. What was your favorite scene though in the movie, Scarpet, or did you say just when they're getting staked? Everyone
Getting
gets staked.
steak it, steak and shake and steak.
Played Chevy Chase and Saturday Night movie too.
I haven't watched that yet. I gotta watch that Saturday Night movie. I've been waiting to watch it.
Just got put on Netflix. I've been meaning to watch it. Corey Higgins. No, or in that area. I love Jeff Fahey, man. Anything that he's in, I'll watch. I don't know what it is about him, but I just love him. Another great movie he did was Body Parts. I love him. So yeah, let me see. Anything else you guys want to throw in there about Dracula, man? Robbie, you got anything else you want to talk about?
It's mostly just the importance of like the evolution of the vampire film, right? Yeah. And the importance of this movie in the evolution of the vampire film. This was the first time we really got to see blood and fangs and that raw, visceral, like Bela Lugosi's very suave, very cool. Everybody that followed him they do their version of Bela Lugosi. Bela is present in every performance of Dracula since 1931, right? Yeah. Or even before, maybe, because he portrayed him on stage. Christopher Lee does enough difference. And then over the course of these movies, whether it's the greatness of Prince of Darkness, the really bad 80s 1972 Dracula, or Satanic Rites of Dracula, or even a decent one like Scars of Dracula, right? Like there's something about Christopher Lee played Dracula the most out of anybody. Yeah. So he's got a big stamp on this character. It starts here. He's in it very little, but it's the start of something really important, not just to vampire movies, not just to Dracula, not just to Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing's career, but to Hammer Films, right? Like this and Curse are the movies that made Hammer, right? And you don't get all the wonderful Hammer films that we've gotten without this movie right there. So,
yeah.
The movie
you can't underestimate too. I mean,
to a lot of people, Christopher Lee is their favorite Dracula.
Exactly. And the music in this fucking film is phenomenal. The James Bernard score is phenomenal in this movie.
But you can't underscore enough the whole yin and yang of having Peter Cushing. I mean, there would be as much of Peter Cushing was really important for this, because you got to have a good villain, you need a good hero, and Peter Cushing just was the combination of the two was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why this movie, as Robbie said, he's only in it for 7 minutes. And you would think, that's gonna suck if your main character's only in it for 7 minutes, but Peter Cushing is so good in it that he carries the movie when Christopher Lee's not on the screen.
And Peter Cushing is very important. Show up. He doesn't even show up for like the first 20-some minutes.
He's not in the first act at all, right? No. Yeah, because it's all about Jonathan Harker. And this is a more edgier Jonathan Harker than we typically get. And I do like that, though he is dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to save this woman. No, I'm going to kill this woman. No, I'm going to save this woman. No, like, he's still dumb, but he's not the bumbling idiot that Jonathan Harker usually is in these movies, So that's fucking cool. But what's really interesting, especially about Peter Cushing, he is the hero in these Dracula movies. If you look at the Frankenstein movies, he's the fucking villain, right? And he goes through a course of like just madness and depravity in those fucking movies.
Well, he starts off as the hero.
Yeah, but you see what I'm talking about, where they kind of like the point of the book is that Frankenstein is the monster, right? Like Dr. Frankenstein is the monster, right? But just look at the difference in approach, right? You can talk about typecast. Oh, he's playing the same character. No, Peter Cushing's not. When he plays Dr. Frankenstein versus Van Helsing, those are two different characters.
Right. And by the end, he's batshit crazy. By the end of the Frankenstein.
And it's so well done. Like you're right. Peter Cushing, I mean, Hound of Baskervilles, like everything they did together.
Another great one.
Fucking slaps, dude. Just absolutely rocks, man.
I mean, dude, without I feel like there isn't a Hammer fucking company without Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee.
There's
like
not.
those guys.
Dude, how crazy is it that they were able to modernize these movies, but they still kept the tones of the originals.
Yeah.
Like everything that you would love about a Universal picture is in the Hammer films.
Yeah.
It's just amped up
A little more
and
sex
modernized
violence.
a little bit. They don't go
Yep.
too far. They don't push it too much. They keep
Yeah.
it classic feeling
Mhm.
while still pushing some boundaries. Another one of my favorite Hammer films is The Vampire Lovers, y'all. If you've never seen that, sexiest fucking vampire movie I've ever seen. So there you go.
I know I've heard of it. I'm not sure.
You got to watch it. It's an adaptation
Yeah, I
of
just watched
Tremeo.
that not too long ago. 'cause I happened to
Love
remember
that movie, man.
I know
Love
I've heard
it.
of it. I'll have to
Very
check it out.
sexy. Hammer got even better when they decided to actually go ahead and go full nudity.
I second that. Yeah,
Vampire Lesbos is another good one.
yeah. I've never seen Lost. Never seen Lost. But I've heard Jeff Fahey was the pilot in that. I've always wanted to check it out. I'll have to check it out someday. I've
Lost
always
is one
heard
of my
good things
favorite
about
shows
Lost.
of all time, man.
I've always heard good things. I'll have to watch it someday. I just know it's like one of those where you're like, man, it's like what, 8 seasons or something, and they're hour-long episodes. Where
It's
you're
6 seasons.
Like, 6. Oh,
So I just got my girlfriend to watch it because we do this thing where we like switch shows. Like she was like, Sense8's one of my favorite shows, so we watched that. I told her Lost was one of my favorite shows, so we watched like the first 4 episodes, and then without me, she just like blazed through that whole goddamn thing in like 2 weeks, man. Like she got sucked in so hardcore, man. So now we're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm liking it so far. So,
the Netflix one or the animated?
The original Nickelodeon.
Yeah, the original's great.
Yeah, I'd never seen it, so.
Yeah, I love
Two
that.
Gun, you ain't never seen Vampire Lovers? You got to watch that movie. It's an adaptation of Carmilla, which is kind of like a pre-Stoker vampire novel. Very famous story. Yeah. So good. I have it on Blu-ray. It's really good. And then they did a newer, more special edition.
I remember seeing you show this cover off. I feel like.
Right.
And Peter Cushing, and this is General Von
Yeah,
Steel.
Shout Factory, I think, did a version of it.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. I was gonna say I know I've seen this cover before. Oh yeah, yeah, but yeah, I mean, what Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee did for Hammer, man. I mean, they were the forefront. They were like the Lon Chaney and Bela. Like what Bela, Lon Chaney, and Boris did for Universal is what Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee did for Hammer in their time. And you cannot give them the credit that they deserve, man, because they fucking killed it, man.
Yeah, and if you're out there and the only Peter Cushing movie you've ever seen is Star Wars, and you only know him as General Tarkin, I got 2 words for you. Suck it. Go watch some fucking Hammer horror films.
Here's a question for host Dylan, guest Robin Scarbat. If Lee and Lugosi never Cushing never existed, do you think John Barrymore or Charles Lawton or Dick Bogard would have done suitably?
I think it probably would have been Lon Chaney again, because he did everything back then.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, Lon Chaney Sr. was originally going to be Dracula, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, he was going to be Dracula, but he passed, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, he died right before it.
Yeah.
I think John Barrymore would be okay. John Barrymore's in The Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
It would be different. It would definitely be different. I'd have to see it to believe it, because it's like those two were just so ingrained in Hammer films, where it's like you look through Hammer and they're probably in 85% of the movies. You know what I mean?
And as horror fans, it's hard for us.
Christopher Lee and Cushing were just, that yin and yang, like Scarpat talked about. And then even once Christopher Lee kind of like stopped being in some of the movies, Peter Cushing was like always in the movies. I mean, the guy those two, man, were just incredible.
It's hard as horror fans to imagine a world without Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney, Sr. and Jr., Boris Karloff, Christopher Lee, or Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, it truly is, man.
And just like, what's the Dracula movie we had before this? Like, I love Edward Van Sloan as Van Helsing, but Peter Cushing's like a fucking action hero in this goddamn movie, man. Pimped out too, man. Just looking good.
I love his look, man. I can't wait to get that. I'm definitely getting those two NECAs, man. I
Frankly,
love the jacket that he wears.
I'm shocked and rather dismayed that my boy Leslie Nielsen doesn't get any love as his portrayal of
I
Dracula.
love Dracula.
Dracula
That is
Dead
my
Loving It.
least favorite Mel Brooks fucking production, man.
I love Dracula Dead and Loving It.
There's some good parts.
Love
Of it.
that
Yeah,
movie.
it's
I
not
fucking
the best
hate that
one.
movie.
Really? Oh man, no, there's other Mel Brooks movies that I would put
You
lower.
like that part
I
where he
love
takes
that.
off
Like
his
what?
hair? He takes
What?
off
Like
his hair.
what? What Mel Brooks movie goes lower than Dracula Dead and Loving It?
Let me see.
Life
I'm
stinks.
curious.
Life stinks.
I wouldn't go that far.
Let me see.
History of the World Part 2.
How much involvement did he have in that? I mean, you can't tell me the producers is better. Young Frankenstein's better. Blazing Saddles. I mean,
I am not the biggest Young Frankenstein fan.
get the fuck out of here. That's the greatest comedy ever made in American fucking
I don't know
cinema.
if I say that, but Young Frankenstein's a great movie.
It is a good movie, but it's just not, to
And
me.
it's a
Young
good
Frankenstein
homage.
is so good. What are you talking about,
It's
Dylan?
a good homage to classic Universal monsters.
To Be or Not to Be, he didn't direct that one, but he starred in it. That movie's that's brilliant. History of the World Part 1, Spaceballs, Robin Hood Men in Tights, silent movie.
I
Robin
like
Hood Men in
Dracula Dead
Tights is
and
about
Loving It
as
better than
good
Young
as
Frankenstein.
Dracula.
That's my opinion.
I think it's a level above, just a slight
But
level above.
The thing is, I just recently rewatched Dracula Dead and Loving It, and the last couple months I've been on a big Leslie Nielsen kick. So that I could be just a little bit clouded by it because I've been watching all the Naked Guns, and I've been watching a bunch of Leslie Nielsen comedies. So I might just be a little clouded right now because I'm on a Leslie Nielsen high.
Okay.
But yeah, I do need to give Young Frankenstein a rewatch because I never was that big.
Frankenstein.
No, it's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Remember what was it?
Frankenstein. You said that in the movie.
Did you ever see the James McAvoy one where he's like, "It's Frankenstein"? That's weird as fuck.
Oh, the one with Dana Radcliffe. That was all right.
Yeah, that was okay. Not the greatest. For some reason, I thought Mel Brooks did Airplane. Who did Airplane?
No, that was the Zucker brothers.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I love Spaceballs and Robin Hood Men in Tights
and Blazing Saddles and the producers. And silent movie is so genius, y'all.
The producers. I don't know if I've seen the producers.
Oh, that's his first movie, man.
Springtime
Producers is great, man.
Yeah, I've never seen the producers.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany.
I know the Little Rascals I loved as a kid.
Get Smart.
Yeah, he was one of the creators of Get Smart. That's a great show. I love that show. I used to watch it on Nick at Night. I like the movie they did with The Rock and Steve Carell. I actually like that movie.
Not as good as the original show.
No, of course not, but I still like that movie.
They used to sit there with the cone of silence. Let's go into the cone of silence.
I've been watching Detroit Rock City real bad. It's like a random thing to just say. But
Detroit Rock City, Mel Brooks did that one? I don't think so. Did he do that?
No, I said that. That's why I said it's a random thing to just bring that up, but I've been wanting to see that.
Okay.
That correctly. I've never seen Silent Movie either.
Oh, Silent Movie's so good, dude. You got to watch it. It's so good. And History of the World Part 1. The Lord has given us these 10 commandments.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check those 3 out. It's been a while since I've seen Blazing Saddles, too.
That movie is so good.
It just came out 4K, really nice 4K.
I think I have it on DVD. I don't think I didn't get the 4K. I don't even think I have it on. I think I have it on DVD somewhere. Let's see, what's up, Christina? Life stinks way better than D&D and loving it.
I don't know about that.
I agree.
How would you rank the various Dracula performances by all the chaos who have played the role in Dracula role or starring role in those movies. Bayless, number one all day.
Bela, Lee, Oldman, Rudolph Martin, who played him in Dark Prince, True Story of Dracula, as well as
count,
Buffy
or is
vs.
it just Dracula?
Well, would that count though?
Nosferatu is Dracula.
Basically,
It is, but its Orlok is slightly different.
Yeah, it's Dracula.
it is different because Count Orlok is different than Dracula, but I'm just because they are based off like the same story almost. But
I would say the dude from Monster Squad would be
now I'd be in Skarsgård is honestly, man, Skarsgård. It's tough because he only did one movie, so I'd probably still keep Christopher Lee over him. I think, but I don't know, man.
And
Plus,
don't sleep on Gerard Butler.
Almost put him
Dracula
over.
2000.
Plus,
Vitamin
let's
C
not forget
topless.
Gerard Butler. Who didn't Gerard Butler play Dracula in Blade 3 as well?
No, that's the fucking dude who was in he played Heatwave and Flash. He was in Prison Break. Dominic something.
Oh yes. I know the guy.
Well, don't forget too that Skarsgård was the only one to show Dracula's shriveled up Willie.
That's true. Yeah,
I
the
do
dude
like
the dude in Blade
2000,
3 might be the worst cinematic Dracula we've ever gotten.
For sure. I do like Gerard Butler's Dracula. That wasn't a bad movie. It's definitely on the lower side, but not bad, you know. So let's see. Yeah, I guess should we rate this thing, guys?
Let's fucking do it.
All right, Robbie, man, kick us off. And anybody in the chat, man, let us know what your rating for Horror of Dracula is down below. We go for anybody new. We always go from. I guess you can do a 0 if you want, but I doubt anybody is. So 0 from 5, 0 to 5.
So I'm gonna give Horror of Dracula a 4.5. You digs, slips, whatever you want to call them. I give it a 4.5 because I still feel like it's not like Dracula's not featured enough in this movie.
Thank God. What if this was the only one we ever got? If that's where I feel like if this was the only one, you would look at it a lot different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I feel like you'd be like, but because we know what he does in the future with it, I feel like that also you're like, okay, you can like forgive it a little bit more.
Especially in Prince of Darkness. I think Prince of Darkness is the 5 out of the series. I think it's the peak.
For sure.
But I do like the setup here. I like how different it is. That moment when Jonathan Harker's like, I'm here to kill this motherfucker. You're like, dun, dun, dun. Like, I like that bit, right? I like the performances. It's genuinely cool. It's very important. It's visually stunning. The music is fucking phenomenal. So I'll give it 4.5 slips, which this bullshit Blu-ray didn't come with. But it's the best we got for now. And that's one of the best covers.
Bummer, it didn't come with no fucking special features. That's the worst part about Warner.
I know. They're like, how many people there's got to be tons of shit people want to talk about this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you get all those, those film historians that are always on like the Scream Factory Arrow commentary. Yeah. So what about you, Scarphead? Speaking of, man, you gotta show your fucking Hammer box set. You gotta show that off if you got it.
I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, dang.
No, I'll be here sometime this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd say 4.5 because there's a better one coming up, and that would probably be a 5. So yeah, I'd say 4.5. This is still phenomenal.
Yeah.
I would honestly even say Brides of Dracula is a little bit better than this one.
Yeah,
I would say that. I would not say that.
I like Brides as a movie better.
Brides is good, but
I like Brides a lot. I like it's a lot different too. So
Brides got some hot chicks in it, man.
Yeah. I'm more around where Two Guns at. Two Guns giving it a 4, and I'm at like a 4 as well. I love the movie. I think Christopher Lee's great, but I definitely agree with Robbie where Prince was the one I went to more. There's a few great scenes with Christopher Lee in this, but I always thought he should be in War. And Prince, I definitely my favorite of the Christopher Lee Dracula movies. But yeah, I definitely
Dracula has Risen from the Grave is a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, I definitely think it's great. But I feel like this is more of like a taste of what's to come with him. But if this would have been all we got from him, I'd have been a little disappointed. I do still think it's great. I love some of the stuff, but I don't think he had the voice really down with this one. Was this the first? Was this the first Hammer
No,
production?
Curse was out before this one.
Okay, that's what I
I
thought.
think wasn't Frankenstein first before this?
Yeah, Curse
Frankenstein
of
was
Frankenstein was
1957.
first.
So Frankenstein was the very first.
Yeah, Curse of Frankenstein was first.
Yeah,
Or as they called it in the UK, Frankenstein.
right.
Well, and this one on my copy at least was just called Dracula. It wasn't called the Horror Dracula.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's
because
funny.
the print they found where they got to restore the final bit at the end because that was edited, like
Right.
when he like gets killed at the end. It's like the British version. So yeah, in Britain this was Dracula, and Curse of Frankenstein was Frankenstein.
Yeah, and
Well, what's funny is Universal was the one who distributed it in the States, and they
yeah,
wanted to
Right.
differentiate the titles just a little bit.
it's funny. Curse of Dracula or Curse of Frankenstein. I'm sorry, Curse of Frankenstein got a Warner Archive Blu-ray, but they gave that a bonus disc. That's a 2-disc set.
Yeah,
Which
they
is
do
so-
that sometimes.
It's
but
very rare. Very rare for Warner Archive.
But then they let everybody else do all the other movies, and they got special features. Some of them do and shit like that. Like the Prince of Darkness set is really cool, man. So
yeah. Well, I don't have the Warner Archive of Prince, but I have the Shout.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Screen Factory of
Okay.
of Prince
Yeah.
is dope.
This
They're
is
like
solid.
letting other people do them, you know. So
Yeah. I love, and this has a 4K scan. I can't believe they never got Horror Dracula yet, but hopefully Scarpad, since now Hammer is putting out 4Ks and they started with Chronos, hopefully this or Horror will be one of the other ones they do. But yeah, man, I hear you, Acres. I mean, it's hard to rank them, especially if they are super near and dear to you. I've been there a million times, man. I'm the same way. Yeah, he's not bad as in Brooklyn a Vampire. I always enjoyed that movie.
that's an interesting movie.
Yeah,
One of us, me, you, or Verno, should cover that one day. maybe put it on your Horror Fest list. If not,
Yeah.
I might be tempted to do it. Would that be
Right.
funny?
This is cool though, man. I wonder if there's more of these because on the back there is a commentary with Christopher Lee on here, but there's this World of Hammer episode, Dracula and the Undead. I wonder if they're like on more of the Hammer Blu-rays that they put out, if there's like other parts of those, episodes. Or there might just be a box set called World of Hammer where they have all the episodes. I don't know. And then there's a documentary Back to Black. So I gotta definitely check out the special features on that. That's cool. But yeah, so that'll cover Dracula month, man. We're done and over, man. Great month you picked out for sure, Scarpad. And to be kicking off February, we are gonna be doing Two Guns month, where he picked all the movies for February. And to kick off next Sunday, we'll be doing Samuel L. Jackson movie called Unthinkable that he's been wanting us to review for a long time now. Not so much horror, more of like kind of like a thriller, but it definitely has, I know it has some kind of like horror-ish like kills in it, I want to say, from what he's told me. But it's been one he's been wanting us to do for a long time, so had to throw it in there, So, can't wait to watch it. I always love a good Samuel L. Jackson movies, and I believe it's still on Netflix. If you can't find a way to watch it, check it out on Netflix. Me and Scarpad both have it on Blu-ray, I want to say. So, yeah, can't wait, man. We got 4 great movies coming out. It's gonna be fun. Two Gun never disappoints. More action thriller, okay, but yeah, Two Gun never disappoints. So we got us 4 great movies to talk about in February, that's for sure. And let's do some show and tell, then y'all, Robbie, you got anything? I know you got a couple things you showed off maybe on your show.
Yeah.
I know you got some stuff probably.
Yeah, I can show some shit.
Let's see, I gotta grab my
I recently picked up Masters of Horror on DVD, season
That's
1.
a tough one to get.
The Mausoleum set. I had this when it first released, and I got rid of it, and I've always regretted it. And I wanted to have it back in my life, so I got that. And because I'm an idiot, I did the same thing for season 2. Once again, I had this when it first came out. This is all of season 2 of Masters of Horror. It's on DVD, but like I love these sets, and I just wanted them in my collection yet again. And my good homie Kevin, who is the artist on the book that I'm working on, Amortex, did this for me for Christmas, but it's Blade chasing down the Count. So I thought that was appropriate too for your Dracula vampire month. And like Verno at Blood Splatter Chatter was doing Fang Fest, like you both were on the same page, the same wavelength of celebrating vampires and Dracula. Also, one more thing. This book's available on Amazon. It's by my buddy Carl Koweski, and it's called Thrift Store Jackets. It's a bunch of short stories. There's a character in here who is a pot-smoking, comic book loving podcaster and YouTuber. That character is based on me. So everybody should go buy this book because there's a character in there based on me. So there you go. That's what I got. Boom.
You got some stuff, Scarphead?
Yeah, I can show some stuff. Some of the VHSs I didn't show last week. A couple of two got me. I got a copy of The Thing on VHS. And a real nice copy of it. I love this call chart. The Night Stalker has 2 of the best episodes, the first 2 episodes of the series. The Zombie and the Ripper. Really good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Two Gun got me a copy of one of my favorites, Kingdom of the Spiders. Look at that cover.
Oh man, I love that cover.
With a great William Shatner. He also got me The Changeling. The War of the Worlds. You got me a copy of Godzilla versus Biollante. Look at that. That great.
I just snagged a copy of that up myself.
You also got me a copy of this Horror Hotel. I think Christopher Lee's in this. Yes, he is. Look at that.
Oh, that's sweet.
This was a good one I watched the other day, Cosmic Monsters. There's another Night Stalker. You got me The Grail. The Great Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Love that cover, man.
And he also got me this one, I believe, Circus of Horrors. Look at that. And then a few things I picked up on DVD. We watched this tonight in Discord. Gargoyle. I got the first and only season of Fear Itself, which is on NBC in 2008.
Man, I got to get that. Yeah, we definitely are some Zilla fans here at DHS.
Fear Itself, basically Masters of Horror season 3. In a way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't see. It's blurry. What could this
What
be?
was that? What was that book again, Robbie?
I put it in the comments.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Fuck me.
Oh.
Not the Invisible Man. We'll see if I like this anymore. See, the camera can't even handle it because it's
invisible.
I thought I saw John Cena for a second.
Picked the Major League on DVD.
One of the top 5 baseball movies of all time.
A really underrated movie. This was remade with Steve Martin. I got that coming because I haven't seen that one in a long time. But this is the original, The Out of Towners. That's a great, hilarious movie with Jack Lemmon. I mixed on this one, but I picked it up because it was cheap. The Dead Don't Die. I always wanted this one, then Dylan picked it up, and I heard it's good. Have you watched this yet, Dylan?
Which one?
Edge of the
No,
Axe.
the Two Gun sent it to me. We were actually going to review it, but he switched it out, I believe. So, yeah, but we got to do that. I got to watch that soon because it looks really cool.
Picked up season 2 of Jack Reacher on 4K. Another DVD, Ghost Ship. I ever see this one? You ever see this one yet? I got this for like $1.
No, I was going to pick that up on VHS the other day, but I haven't seen it yet.
You
So
paid that for $1?
Yeah.
You overpaid.
Well, you know, probably. A classic. House on Haunted
I love
Hill.
that cover, man. I got a big ass poster of that. Pondering the future F-13 franchise.
An even better cover.
Fox
One of the Blind Dead movies, The Ghost Galleon. Look at that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm not even sure what they're doing with that F-13 show coming out on Peacock.
The Steelbook, Smile 2.
I've been so confused on what's gonna happen with that.
Smile 2 was really good, man. I was really
I like the first one better, but it was all right.
I know you're watching. Speaking of Star Trek, whoa, what's that?
That's complete Star Trek: The Next Generation on DVD.
DVD? Oh, okay. I was gonna say because my Blu-ray set don't look like that.
Yeah, I got it cheap. I have it on Blu-ray, but I'm complete. So
how much was it?
I got like $25 on eBay. Sealed.
Wow, great pickup. Great pickup. 25? Wow, good pick.
And that's it for me for this month.
I just snagged like fucking.
I got more stuff I'll show off next week, more VHSs, but I'm not gonna show them all off.
No worries. Yeah, I got a few I was gonna show. I was gonna show a few more because Robbie's here. So, but I got The Substance, second favorite horror movie of 2024.
Is that the 4K?
No, man. I'm waiting. They fucking sent me the Blu-ray. I got to send this back because my 4K got delayed, and I got this one by accident. So yeah, I got to send this back. But it's the same exact thing. There's just a 4K disc. And
I still haven't seen that movie, man.
No, I'm waiting to see
Dude,
it now.
I love this movie, man. This was my favorite until Nosferatu came.
I got nominated for the Academy Award, so
yeah, man, dude. And there's so much hot ass in this movie. Whew, not even funny, bro.
All right, you really just sold me on it more than anybody else has. I'll tell you that. You know how to speak to me, Dylan.
I know, man. I know you, brother. I know how to sell it.
Two things I like, man. If you're down for PCPX, I got 2 words for you: hot ass.
Body horror and hot ass. Hot ass, man. I'm telling you. And I showed this off, but I finally opened it. So
dope.
Quick. And I popped in the 4K to compare it because I did have the old 4K, and this looks a lot better for sure.
The old blue.
What was that?
The old one was terrible.
Yeah. And yeah, this is a great set, and it comes with a second disc with nothing but bonus features. So that was really cool. Comes with a little cup holder or coaster. Which one is it? Which one fucked him over? Got him.
Yeah,
got
that's
him
so
caught.
fucking cool.
Comes with a poster and a booklet, as they do. So beautiful set. And first time I've seen them do like the slip cover, where I guess they made it kind of like a War Office journal. Yeah. So that was interesting. But great set as always. Absolutely love this movie. Eli Roth is incredible in this. Brad Pitt is just such a good movie. Such a good movie. So super glad to have that. I'm gonna show kind of a few of these. I got a decent amount, but I've been trying to collect all the Universal Monster tapes when my grandfather died, my
What
jitsu.
the fuck is just, what has happened to DHS? I'm out for 2 months. I come back, y'all are all just fucking collecting VHS.
Yeah, man, me and Scarpet both got CRT TVs.
I
now.
was showing my VHS off like months ago, and Scarpad was all like, VHS, you know that's a inferior format. And I'm like, yeah, dude, now y'all are both
I
fucking
never
collecting
said that.
VHS. Fuck
Well,
y'all.
Well, Scarpad's been collecting VHS for a while now. He was just and I have been too. I've always had my Universal Monster collection. I just never cared to like.
No,
if
I'm
I came
happy for
across
you. I'm
something-
just saying it's rather funny. Is all
Yeah.
I'm saying, man.
Well, Scarpad's been collecting them longer than me. He's
I
always
just got a good batch in December from Two Gun. Fuck,
Yeah.
I should have showed those off. I'll save those for next time.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I'm trying to collect all the Universal monsters. So I got this, and this is basically brand new. It's open at the bottom, but still got the
Gorgeous.
plastic. And I never see this. So I was so happy to find that. I got Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy.
Bruh, that's awesome. That's a good
Got
get.
it for dirt too, bro. So all I need is
Where do you finding them? Like at thrift stores and shit or something?
sometimes Savers, whatnot.
Dylan's
Savers or whatnot.
been giving away his life savings and whatnot, like I have too.
Oh, So it's Two Gun, Opera. But these all I got for like $1 or $2. So
The Claude Rains one, man.
because
The fucked up thing about the Universal Monsters ones is you want to get the ones that are like that, and then you want to get the other art where it's all like gray toned and shit, you know?
Yeah, well,
You want to get like 2 copies of everything. It's
I know.
ridiculous.
Trust me, man. Because that's what now I have like a mixed.
Oh yeah. See,
So I
don't have that one. And then I remember I
some-
used to have a clamshell one. I want to get
Yeah.
that one back. Oh my
I
God.
have some that are like this, and then some are like this. It's tough though, man, because I'm like I want to collect both of them, but
Bro, we're literally just collecting box art is what we're doing.
yeah, that's the problem. So
I rarely watch my VHSs.
I think the ones with like the grayer tones are actually like the first release. So, but
Here's
yeah,
another thing here's an interesting thing, not to interrupt you, but here's an interesting thing that I think is happening. Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Blockbuster presents. I want to get the original artwork though, man.
Yeah, I don't have Halloween. I don't have any Halloween films on VHS.
Especially now to go with the OG artwork. I want to get the OG H1 artwork.
You gotta get the number 3 now.
Yeah, that's my grail right now is the H3, and it's fucking like I feel like that's the hardest one.
Horror movies on VHS fucking are so expensive, man.
Yeah, dude, and the horror fans, man, they don't sit. If you go on Whatnot, you better snag it, otherwise someone's coming in and they're buying it, man. But this one's so fucking awesome, dude. I was so happy to get the first 2, and I can't wait because that's what I want to collect. I'm trying to get Universal Monster tapes. I'm trying to get the whole Halloween collection, and I want to get and I want to try to collect all the Stephen King stuff. I
got something to show you, man.
All right.
So I have a good VHS collection. Oh fuck, you got Freddy's Dead, man. Show that shit off.
I got it for $2, bro, and this is the first printing. A little torn, I got a tear on top, but I love that artwork, man.
That's dope.
So I got this, dude, minty. So awesome, bro. And then this one.
Oh, nice.
Mint as hell too. This one I've been had. I just had to show it for Hammer Night, and this is a hard one to find from what I hear. Revenge of Frankenstein.
That's the one I'm missing, man.
This is a really hard one to find on tape from what I've heard. But I got a bunch more I was going to show since you were here. Because no, I wasn't going to show that. I was only going to show a few up, but since you were here, what did you want to show?
Well, horror VHS are hard. I have a really nice VHS collection, but I don't have many horror films. But one that I do have that was nearby.
That's all I've been trying to collect is horror. Oh, you lucky son of a gun. That's clean too.
Yeah, Mike got this one for me.
No way. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to collect is mostly horror. I do got some Godzilla though too.
Yeah, I just wind up with. I got cool shit. I got Mallrats. I got Life Force.
Yeah. Life Force. I was just gonna try to snag a copy of that. That's awesome.
There's my Life Force. Even Scarpet has sent me some stuff. I have like the original Star Wars.
I just got the original Star Trek, and they're all sealed, and they got that side picture.
Here's
where
another
the
one I got
where
for the
if you
fans out
put
there.
all of them together, it's the Enterprise on the side of the spine.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got all those. I got those for like 50 cents.
There's that. Here's a what the fuck? Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one.
That's a great cover. Great one.
Oh, here's might be one of my favorite VHSs I have because this is actually a VHS I bought back in like 1998 or whatever, right? But
I've been wanting to get those. I want to get one and two.
there it is. The embossed Blade VHS.
That's awesome, dude.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, I just want to show off some more. But one thing I think is interesting, and I think that this is something that's happening, is that as we are starting to realize that physical media is going away, we're now starting to hoard as much as we can as collectors and lovers of and appreciators, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's going away. I think it's just going to get more boutique, more niche. I don't think it's going away.
For the Stephen King collection.
Nice. That's a good movie, man. Bryan
I've
Singer.
never seen it, actually.
Oh, that's a good one, man.
This one I owned as a kid, so I got it for $1, so I had to get it. I loved watching this as a kid on VHS.
It's a fun movie, man.
Another great movie. Wish I had a better cover, but this is a hard one to find too.
Is that the Joe Piscopo movie, man?
Dead Heat, baby. And I'm trying to get all the Goosebumps movies, man. So I picked up this one. I got a couple that I had that are actually my childhood Goosebumps tapes. So I'm trying to find all the Goosebumps movies on tape or episodes on tape. I got King Kong versus Godzilla. Those are my other ones, man. I love getting the Godzilla ones because that's the only way you could watch them on dub with the English dub. Because if you get like that Criterion, all these new Blu-rays, they never have English dub. They're always just subtitled, and I like them with the dub, man. That's just me. One of my favorites as a kid, Zombie Island. I love getting a couple like horror, like Scooby-Doo animations here and there, like the classic ones, Original Mysteries. This one was cool, Alien Invaders. Somebody just threw this in for free when I bought a couple. And Jeepers Creepers. Another great one. Somebody threw this in for free. Fucking killed me because now and then I ended up fucking wanting to get. I was like, you threw this in for free. Now I want to get. Now I finally got the second and third one, and those are coming.
That's awesome. I only have the second
awesome.
one, dude. I don't have the first one, man.
Oh, really? Yeah,
VHS,
the third one's actually the hardest to find, and I just found a copy of that. So, and these are just awesome because I feel like everybody had these as a kid. If you watch VHS, everybody had those as a kid. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love that cover, man.
I have two of these motherfuckers, but I don't have a one.
You got two of two?
Yeah, I do.
No way. I should have came to you. Two Gun sent me Blair Witch a while back. This is the way, dude. Watching Blair Witch on VHS is the way to watch this movie, man. To me, that's the best. I watched this recently. It's the best way to watch this. So I've snagged a copy of Blair Witch 2. And this is actually really hard to find. And I got this for dumb cheap. So I was super happy about that. And snag this because this is actually hard to find, period, on physical release like DVD or you can't get it on Blu-ray. It's a great Anthony Perkins movie, The Black Hole. And another Stephen King, Tommy Knockers. Terrible movie, but I gotta get it for the Stephen King. And I got RoboCop 2, RoboCop 3, and I just found a copy of RoboCop 1. So
hell yeah, dude. You got some good pickups, man.
Yeah, man. And Invaders from Mars, classic one.
The Toby Hooper one?
No, this is the OG one. William Cameron Menzies. Yeah, this is the OG one.
Gotcha.
I'd love to get the Toby Hooper one. Yeah, this is super clean. I love too when they got like the classic poster art, you know. And this I got this because it was around Christmas time, and I live in Cleveland, so they filmed this movie in Cleveland. So I love that cover. This guy, he just threw this in, but I love this movie. And also because this is clean, I love this movie so much. And I just got Predator 2, and somebody's tossed me a copy of Predator 1 in one of my pickups that I got coming.
Nice.
Wait, that's almost brand new. Open at the bottom, but. And this is still sealed. Congo.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Congo's a great one. And for the King collection, baby, you know I had to.
Was that two tape set?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I got Shawshank back here. I gotta get the Green Mile at some point. And this will be the last. These are just I want to show you, even though you're not that big on Godzilla, I don't think, but these are awesome, man. Godzilla 2-pack, Megalon versus and King of the Monsters. King Kong lives. King Kong, so had to have them both. Godzilla 2000.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. King Kong Classic Series. I got a second one of this, but I love that cover because the other one was actually the tape was a little messed up. Godzilla Raids again. I love these covers, man. And I bought a bunch of Godzilla off this guy, and it was the first time I bought, so he tossed this in for free. And this is still sealed. Godzilla, but I love this cover, man. Versus Sea Monster.
Oh yeah.
And Godzilla versus Gigan. Ghidorah, three-headed monster. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. And these are cool. These three are cool because they Son of Godzilla. If there's like 5 in this line, but I only need one more because I already got. I'm not gonna double them. But if I can get Godzilla 1985, it like draws a picture on the side, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah. That's what I got.
Well, since we're doing VHS, I got one more because I know it's one of your favorites.
Oh,
I want to show off.
Nice, dude.
The Burbs.
Those MCA titles are the harder ones too, because the MCA ones are like the first, I think, one of the earlier releases of it.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise. You seem to be more in the know than I am right now, man. But that's fucking awesome. I love the VHS love here on DHS now.
That's just what I be hearing from some people. Like then I only know about that because those Universal Monster ones, the guy was saying like the MCA tapes. And like if you'll notice like if you get like one tape and then you look at another tape, one will say like special edition. You can like kind of tell like that the special edition looks like a newer release, and then the other one will have like the classic artwork or something where you're like, oh, this looks like an older release of that title, you know. Some people are really fucking crazy with it, where they want the first releases, they want like movies that they love. Like if it was like The Thing, there's people who want like every release, and the only difference is like there might be a little bit of a different color or something with the logo on the side. People are crazy with the VHS, man, especially the horror fans, man. So I'm not like that, man. I just want to collect the few tapes that I want, and that's it, man. I'm trying to dim it down, man, because they stack up, man. So right now I'm really just trying to get my Universal. And,
Yeah, the
Dylan's gonna be
VHS
living in
take a
his
lot
car
more
soon.
room up.
yeah, VHS on DHS, man. But yeah, as Scarpad knows, man, shit adds up quick, and they pack in the room quick.
They do.
But they're cool, man. I like before I didn't care. I would just get what I got because I couldn't watch it. That I can actually watch it. It's been a lot fun. Yeah, those are the tapes I've gotten in like the last month, though, man. Just because Robbie was here, I wanted to show him. That was like pretty much all my tapes that I just showed Robbie. I only got and the only other ones that I had to show off would have been the other Universal Monster ones that he's already seen before.
Lately, I've been focusing on James Bond movies. So
yeah, I gotta come. Scarpad's got all those on tape, all the James Bond. Well, at least the Connery ones he's got on tape. Yeah, man, I hope I can get a clean copy of that Halloween 3, though, too, then. That'd be really cool. You know you're muted, though, Scarpad.
I love that we just kept him on mute this whole time.
That's fine. I don't need. I'm just showing shit off. So I'm good. I'm done.
Okay. But yeah, man. Yeah, that fucking Whatnot, bro, has gotten Two Gun got us hooked on Whatnot, and we could kill him now for the addiction. He can't stay off it, man.
I'm staying away from him.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from it too. I got no money now, so I got no choice. Yeah, that's a great set. Beautiful.
Umbrella. Good stuff.
But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of opened me up too, man, where I'm like, I don't need to get all these movies on 4K always. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times you end up just watching it on digital or something too. So I don't know, man. The VHS kind of opened me up where it's like, I don't need to get all these movies on 4K. Blu-ray is fine a lot of times. It depends on the movie.
I mean, it sounds like it's like the guys who say records are better. They're not. CDs are better than records.
I'm not saying VHS is better. I'm just saying that, like,
it's good to watch stuff on it, but I'd still watch stuff.
But I just don't need to have I don't need not everything needs a 4K. You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
I'm just trying. I want to be a little bit more careful about some of the stuff I buy because it's like sometimes I end up buying the movie on 4K and then I just use the digital code and I don't even end up watching the 4K. That's what I mean, you know. So I don't know, but certain movies I'll always pick up, you know, because like Inglourious Basterds, that was a great deal. I love it.
Said Dylan just showed off like 50 movies.
It wasn't 50, man. It was like 20. But I said because Robbie was here.
I appreciate it. I that's an honor, Dylan. Thank you for showing me. You notice I showed off some more of mine too.
Yeah.
The ones that were next to me.
Man, that Friday 13th is fire, bro.
Yeah, Mike got me that one, man. I'm really happy about that one.
Yeah, that's clean.
Suspiria is my white whale right now, but that thing's like an $80 fucking
Burial Ground Scarpad's white whale. So I don't necessarily have like a white whale, but right now Halloween 3 is like I would say Halloween 3 is probably like one of mine.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of the ones that I want are pretty accessible. I feel like I also want Gremlins 1 and 2. Those are pretty accessible too. I feel like they're just sometimes harder to find like a decent copy. A lot of times you'll find them and they're beat to shit. But all right, man. Well, I appreciate everyone who came out and hung out with us tonight. As always, man, you guys are the best. Remember, next Sunday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing Two Gun Pedro's first pick of February, and that will be Samuel L. Jackson's Unthinkable. It is on Netflix if you guys want to check it out. So stay tuned in for next Sunday. Robbie, you got anything going you want to throw out there before we dip out?
Tomorrow night, PCP movie night, 8 p.m. Central Time. John Carpenter's Starman. It's going to be a great conversation.
Love me some Carpenter, man. And I'm sure Scarpad's got some Discord stuff going on.
Nothing really this week so far. Are you going to be covering the Robert Hayes TV show at the same time?
No. We'll mention
come on, man.
All right. Well, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week or a great start to your week. And we will see you guys next. Good luck finding Argento Suspiria on VHS. It's expensive. Dude, I just saw a copy of Pieces go for like $200 on VHS.
It's ridiculous.
So I'm sure Argento Suspiria is probably up there, if not even higher. So I've never seen a copy of that. I could definitely see that going for like $200 though.
Yeah, last I looked, it was like $80 to $100.
Suspiria was impossible to find back then on VHS. So, like, imagine now. You know what I mean?
You might be able to get the new one, maybe the 2000.
Yeah, well, not on VHS though.
Oh, probably on VHS.
Blu-ray. But thanks, Dugan. Yeah, I appreciate everyone who came in. Acres, man, I appreciate your input tonight. Made the show a lot funner. And yeah, so we will see you guys next week. As always, man, peace out, y'all. Thanks for joining.